A man walks into a prison knowing one brutal truth. If he fails tonight, his pregnant wife will die. And if he succeeds, he may never walk out alive. This is not the story of a criminal chasing power or money. This is the story of an ordinary man whose life collapsed so completely that darkness became his only option. Jack Turner was a quiet, broad-shouldered car mechanic. A man who believed in honest work and routine. Every morning, he fixed engines. He wiped grease from his hands, and he went home believing stability was enough to protect a family. But one ordinary afternoon, everything shifted. A damaged car rolled into the garage. Its owner wasn't yelling. He wasn't rushing. He was waiting for Jack. Inside the office, behind fake sympathy and rehearsed excuses, Jack was fired. No warning. No explanation. Just a door closing quietly behind him. He drove home in silence, unaware that this single moment had already sealed his fate. Then came the second blow. His wife, Emily, sat in her car, whispering into a phone, unaware he was watching. Lipstick on her neck, lies on her lips. Betrayal staring him in the face. In one day, Jack lost his job. He lost his trust. He lost the life he thought he understood. And standing there, hands shaking, heartbreaking, Jack made the first choice that would slowly transform him from an invisible, decent man into someone the world would never forgive. Jack Turner was never a man of big dreams. He believed in routine, in discipline and in honest work. Every morning, he walked into the garage, rolled up his sleeves, and fixed broken machines without complaint. That day felt no different, until it was. The garage owner stood waiting, eyes restless, hands shaking slightly. Inside the office, Jack didn't argue when he was fired. He had already read the outcome in the man's face. The excuse was financial trouble. But Jack knew the truth. He was too hard, too blunt, too real for a place that wanted obedience, not integrity. He packed his things and drove home in silence. No music, no anger, just a growing weight in his chest. When he reached home, he saw Emily sitting in her car, whispering into her phone. Jack watched closely, the tension in her shoulders, the forced calm in her voice. Then I saw Italiano lipstick marks on her neck. The world Jack trusted cracked in seconds. A job gone. A marriage shaken. And Jack still didn't realize this was only the beginning of his fall. Jack demanded the truth, and the truth shattered him. Emily's phone confirmed everything. Another man, hidden conversations, stolen emotions. Rachie took over. Jack destroyed her car, smashing metal with his bare hands until pain finally cut through his fury. Inside the house, Emily confessed. 3 months a miscarriaje loneliness. Jack had been physically present, but emotionally absent. Hearing that hurt more than the betrayal itself. For the first time, Jack saw his own fault clearly. He apologized. Not weakly, but honestly. He promised change. A new beginning. Emily believed him. Then Jack delivered the final blow. He was unemployed, desperate. And to survive, he planned to work for Victor Hawley, a known drug lord. Emily begged him not to. Jack had once sworn he would never cross that line. But desperation doesn't respect promises. Jack believed this would be temporary, controlled, safe. He convinced himself that doing something wrong for the right reason was acceptable. That lie would follow him everywhere. Because once a man compromises his morals, the world never stops asking for more. 18 months later, Jack Turner's life looked unrecognizable. The grease-stained mechanic had become a silent enforcer. His hands no longer fixed engines. They delivered packages, collected payments, and foresaid fear money poured in. The small house became a mansion. 1 car became 3. Emily was pregnant again, glowing with cautious hope. From the outside, Jack had won. But inside, the weight never lifted. Every night, Jack told himself this was temporary. Just one more job. Just enough money. Then he'd walk away. That illusion shattered when Victor summoned him for a meeting. There, Jack met Mateo Cruz, a cartel connection, and his unstable men. The job was risky. Jack refused at first. He sensed chaos. Victor promised time off after the baby's birth. Jack agreed, on one condition: he would lead. At the dock, everything went wrong. The drugs were real. The greed was real, and when Jack threw his share into the water, he proved he still had a conscience. But conscience doesn't survive in the criminal world. Jack was beaten, betrayed, surrounded by police. He survived, but survival came at a deadly cost. Gunshots echoed through the dock. Police swarmed the area. Sirens screamed. Chaos exploded. Jack made a choice in seconds. He shot Rico, then Luis, from behind, pretending to help law enforcement. For one moment, he believed he could disappear into the chaos. He was wrong. Jack was arrested, interrogated, cornered. The truth surfaced. There were no drugs, but 2 men were dead. Murder charges followed. In court, Jack said nothing. No excuses. No defense. Before sentencing, he was granted one last meeting with Emily. He didn't cry. He didn't beg. He didn't promise miracles. He only said one thing: live well. Protect our child. The sentence came down: 7 years. Franklin State Prison. Inside those walls, Jack lost everything. His clothes, his watch, his wedding ring, even his name felt smaller. He was warned: discipline, rules, obedience. Jack ignored the warning and paid the price. Meanwhile, outside those walls, Emily was attacked, abducted, taken. Jack didn't know yet, but the consequences of his past had already found his family. Prison wasn't the punishment. It was only the waiting room. A woman claiming to be a doctor visited Jack in prison. She wasn't there to heal. She was there to destroy. Emily had been kidnapped. The baby was in danger. The man behind it all was Mateo Cruz. Jack was offered a deal. 1 life for 2. Kill a lifer named Christopher. Red Cliff Prison, Block 99. Refused and his family would die. Jack didn't hesitate. He attacked guards, broke bones, spilled blood, turned it, himself, into a problem no prison could contain. The transfer came fast. Red Cliff Prison, a place designed to erase men. Warden tags welcomed him. A man who ruled with cruelty, not law. Block 99 wasn't a cell. It was a grave buried beneath the prison. Jack was shackled. An electric restraint locked around his body. Pain became routine. Torture became language. Then the truth surfaced. Christopher never existed. Block 99 was a lie, a trap. Mateo was already there, protected by corrupt guards. This wasn't business. This was revenge. Jack had been played. And then came the final threat. Emily's abortion was imminent. The clock was ticking. For the first time, Jack felt true despair. Every sacrifice, every sin, every lie, all of it had led him here. But desperation creates monsters, and Jack Turner was no longer afraid of becoming one. Pain sharpened Jack's mind. He studied the device controlling the shocks. He sabotaged it, using nothing but his shoe. When guards came to test him, A played Wicken, Tinistruk, he killed without hesitation. Moving with deadly purpose, one by one, obstacles fell. Jack fought his way through Block 99. Like a man already dead, he reached Mateo and broke him. Physically, mentally, Mateo resisted until Jack shattered his leg and forced the call. The abortion was stopped. Emily would live. The baby would live. That knowledge steadied Jack's hands. He had won, but there was no escape left. Jack returned to his cell, knowing exactly how this would end. He waited for confirmation. The phone rang. Victor confirmed Emily's safety. Jack closed his eyes. For the first time in years, I felt peace. He whispered words to his unborn child, words he knew would never be heard in person. But words carry weight, even in darkness. Jack stood up slowly and walked back to Mateo. There was no rage left, only certainty. Mateo had taken everything from him. Jack ended it brutally. No mercy. No hesitation. Blood stained the concrete. Warden tags arrived, weapon drawn. Tags mocked Jack, asking if he was finished crying. Jack asked for 1 minute. One final moment. He used it when Tags entered the cell. Jack didn't resist. He didn't beg. The gunshot echoed through Block 99. Jack Turner collapsed, his life ending in the same silence he'd carried since the day he was fired. A mechanic, a husband, a criminal, a father who never met his child. His story ended there, but its lesson didn't. Jack Turner believed he was protecting his family. He believed good intentions could justify bad choices. But life doesn't measure intent, it measures consequences. Every compromise pulled him deeper, until there was no way back. Jack saved his wife. He saved his child. But he lost himself. His story isn't about crime or violence. It's about how desperation pushes ordinary people toward extraordinary destruction. When life breaks you, the path you choose defines everything that follows. Jack chose the wrong one and paid the highest price. Sometimes, the hardest truth is this. Not every sacrifice makes you a hero. Some only turn you into a warning. Jack Turner's story doesn't end with applause or victory. It ends with silence because real life rarely gives heroes a clean escape. He made choices thinking he was protecting the people he loved, but every shortcut pulled him deeper into a world that only takes and never gives back. In the end, Jack didn't win freedom, wealth, or redemption. He won time. Time for his wife to live. Time for his child to breathe. And sometimes, that's the only victory a broken man is left with. This story isn't about crime or punishment. It's about how one decision can quietly rewrite an entire life. When desperation knocks, it doesn't ask if you're ready yet, just waits to see which door you open. And once you open the wrong one, closing it may cost you everything.